What's the crusade you're going on? A mission to live your life's purpose and passion. What if this year is the last year of your life? What's your God-sized dream? What do you stand for? Live your best life this year. Now, that's the time. I'm going on a crusade to change people's mindsets every single day. So are you on board? Welcome back to another episode of the Todd Durkin Impact Show. This is your host. This is Todd Durkin, and I hope you are moving your booty right now as we get ready to get your mind right. Yep. You know, we mind right maniacs right now. You're probably working out. You're probably doing something good for yourself. But let me ask you this. How many times in the last day or week or month has your mind not been right? Well, today we all about getting your mind right when your mind ain't right. That's the theme today, and I'm going to share 6 ways to get your mind right when your mind ain't right. Before I do that, a special shout out to all my mind right maniacs who are fighting every single day to get your body right, to get your mind right, to get your soul right, to get your family right, your finances right, and everything else to live your best life. And a special shout out, I just started my God-Sized Dreams coaching program, and I want to give a special shout out to all those brothers and sisters who are working their booty off right now as we speak. So if you're out there pounding the pavement or you're in the weight room getting after it, kudos to you. So let me ask you the question. What happens when your mind's not right? If your mind's not right, what happens? Because the more conversations I have with people, you're like, TD, man, thanks for that episode. It really helped me get my mind right. And we shared about 200 and something episodes ago about, hey, the Impact Show is all about motivating and inspiring you to live your best life, to get your mind right, to get your body right, and to get your soul right. And I believe this one episode, you may have to repeat it over and over again so that you can listen to the things that are necessary to get your mind right when your mind's not right. So to answer the question, what happens when your mind's not right? Well, some of these things creep in very slowly. Angst, anxiety, depression. Maybe you're a little down. Sometimes you get a little down, or you even lose confidence or courage, or you lose your self-worth, your identity of who are you. I mean, how many times, again, I in the last week, has your mind not been right? I'd like to know. When you think about, oh, Todd, man, it's been not right for a long time. Well, good, because guess what? There are times in a day where yours truly, the mind right maniac king, when I got to get my mind right as well. So on this path, on this crusade I shared back in January, hey, we going on a crusade to make sure that we're living our best life, that we're living our God-sized dreams. But your body, your mind, and your soul has to be right. And that's what today is all about. Now realize this about anxiety and angst, which is higher than ever in our kids, in ourselves, in those we work with, that anxiety and angst is simply an alarm system. It's not a good or bad thing. It's a necessary thing that's part of life. So let me repeat that in the sense of anxiety is an alarm. Angst is an alarm. Maybe you just have some low-level anxiety. How you deal with this is everything, and that's how I want to serve you and coach you today. So whether it's in the notes section of your phone or you're listening on YouTube right now, watching on YouTube, you got a notebook and a journal. Here are the 6 ways to get your mind right when your mind's not right. Number 1, the power of writing. If your mind ain't right, the power of writing is extremely powerful to get your mind right. Why? Because it gets you out of your head and it gets your thoughts and emotions onto paper. And this is crucial. Why? Because then you could focus on gratitude. Now, gratitude is important because when you're living in gratitude, you can't live in anger and fear at the same time of gratitude and love. So if we can really harness those emotions of gratitude and love, now all of a sudden we set our intentions, you're more likely to get your mind right when you get your thoughts out on paper. Now, I learned this from my father. I was in middle school when he taught me the power of journaling. And to this day, I'm really holding up one of my journals right now, my Get Your Mind Right journal. to get your thoughts on paper. And as we speak, as I record this lesson right now today on the episode, I'm in the midst of sharing and creating my brand new impact journal. Because you always ask, well, what do you write down? Let me share a few of the things that'll be in the impact journal. It's not going to be out for several months. My God-sized dreams folks have it now because they're my guinea pigs who I'm working with. But here's a few of the questions that you may want to write in the morning and in the evening. Because sometimes angst and anxiety happens throughout the day. And at the end of the day, you're feeling a sense of overwhelm. So if you would like to journal in the morning, ask yourselves the following questions. What am I grateful for today? Number 2, what are my prayers or intentions for today? Number 3, what are my big 5 goals or focuses of today? Number 4, how am I going to maximize to create impact today? What am I going to do to create impact today? And number 5, what's my mantra for today? Now, notice we're talking today because when you write down your thoughts and emotions, your prayers, intentions for today, you have control of today. It's the here and the now. So I encourage you to spend a few minutes writing down gratitude in the morning. Now, in the evening, if you like to write in the evening, or maybe you don't like to write in the evening, but you're feeling that sense of overwhelm or angst or anxiety in the evening, a few of the questions that you can use in the evening in your own journal until the impact journal comes out is, what are 2 or 3 of the most important things that you accomplished today? Because why do our heads always go to what we didn't accomplish versus what we did accomplish? Because every single day, there's probably at least 2 or 3 things that you accomplished. Number 2, what could you have done better today? What could you have done better today? Number 3, how did you most create wow or impact today? Number 4, what's one word or a short phrase about how you feel right now? So when you write that down, how you're feeling in the evening, you get it out on paper and you're not putting your head to the pillow feeling that. And then number 5, what happened today that you're most grateful for? What conversation did you have? Who did you celebrate? What happened at work? Maybe you had a great workout, or you listened to a great podcast. Whatever that is, write it down because your mind shifts. Your mind shifts to where it needs to be, to a sense of gratitude, and then you're going to sleep better as well. And when it comes to the power of writing, know this: when you get out of your head and get it on paper, your mind and your soul do get right. Number 2, now closely related, but it's not the power of writing. I have number 2 to get your mind right when your mind ain't right is get out of your head and into your heart. Get out of your head and into your heart. So get into your heart. How do you get into your heart? Get into your heart. You got your head in your heart. So there's 12 inches essentially that's separating success from failure. Because if your mind ain't right and your heart rate ain't right, now all of a sudden you're in trouble. You've got to connect your heart, love, compassion, empathy, all of these things, courage in your heart with a powerful mindset. How do you do that? Well, when you get out of your head, okay, all of a sudden you get into your heart, you don't make it about you. You don't make it about you. What you say to yourself is, who can I serve today? What can I do to make a difference in someone else's life today? Regardless of your occupation or your career, how do I serve someone else today? Because when you're serving, all of a sudden you get out of your own head. Why is it when your mind ain't right? You become a broken record in your own head and you keep asking yourself the same questions and you further beat yourself down and you feel worse and worse and worse and your mind gets worse and worse and worse. And the next thing you know, your mind really ain't right. So how you get out of that and break that cycle, besides snapping your band and doing all the things I always say, is you make it about other people who you can serve in your life. Maybe it's a spouse or a son or daughter or a mom or dad or a colleague or coworker. So who can you help? No more pity parties. No more pity parties in your own head about, man, I feel sorry for myself. Listen, right now, today, snap it. If you're feeling sorry for yourself, it could always be worse. Repeat after me. It could always be worse. Someone else has it worse than you. So when you're always trying to figure things out in your own head, then you're in your own head. And what I'm telling you to do is stop trying to figure things out all of the time and get into your heart, tap into gratitude, tap into love and empathy, compassion. Who can I serve today? Now, all of a sudden, you come from a different perspective and place, and you're not so much in your head trying to figure out, how do I break the cycle? So now all of a sudden, what happens is you start getting your mind right because you're in your heart and not just your head. Third way, you get out in nature. Nature has a great way of healing your soul. Go for a walk, go for a hike, go for a cross-country ski if it's in the winter. You get in the water. If it's during the summer, you go for a walk on the beach and take your shoes off so you can actually feel the sand between your toes. 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes of therapy in nature does wonders to get your mind right. Why? Because it connects you with Mother Earth, and there's tremendous healing powers when you get out in nature. So right now, today, or when you're not feeling great or your mind ain't right, connect with nature. It has that way to not only heal your soul, but to heal your head as well. Number 4, get your body right. Lift heavy weights. Yep. Maybe my favorite, because what happens is you know it, but when your mind ain't right, what happens many times you're like, I feel like garbage. I'm not going to work out today. Stop it. Right now, I'm giving you permission, encouragement. I'm telling you right now today, if your mind ain't right, to get your mind right, go lift. Go lift heavy things. Go lift weights. Go lift rocks, boulders, whatever it is. Start lifting heavy things again, because it's tremendously therapeutic when you lift heavy weights and you exhaust your body of the stress that it's holding on to. It could be 15 to 20 minutes. Other times it might be 30 to 40 minutes. But either way, when you lift, it is really good for your mind. Now, when I say, take care of your body, you've got the lifting part, and you also have the nutrition part. So the nutrition part, I'm still here in number 4, clean up your nutrition. Now, one of my heroes in life is Jack LaLanne. And I want to make sure all of you know who Jack LaLanne is. I should probably have a standalone episode on Jack LaLanne, but I've got a few of his quotes. I recently wrote a blog, and I want to make sure you hear some of the quotes to get your mind right if your mind ain't right when it comes to nutrition and when it comes to exercise and when it comes to getting your mind right. Jack LaLanne says, I can't die. It would ruin my image. I like that one right there. Exercise is king. Nutrition is queen. Put them together and you have a kingdom. Oh, good word by Jack LaLanne. By the way, the godfather of fitness. If you're a coach, if you're a trainer, if you're a fitness enthusiast, Jack LaLanne is the man. And another quote of mine that I really like from Jack LaLanne. Remember this, your body is your slave. It works for you, so tell it what to do. Don't base your decisions on how you feel. Base it by saying that. Your body is your slave. It works for you, so tell it what to do. People don't die of old age. They die of neglect. Here's another great Jack LaLanne quote. The food you eat today is walking and talking tomorrow. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. What'd you do yesterday? So whatever you're doing today, the food you eat today is walking and talking tomorrow. Clean it up. Clean up the nutrition. Important that we do that. Your waistline is your lifeline. Man, Jack LaLanne, he had some great quotes. Let me give you a few other great ones here. Better to wear out than to rust out. These are good quotes. If you got a big gut and you start doing sit-ups, you're going to get bigger because you build up the muscle. You got to get rid of the fat. How do you get rid of the fat? By changing your diet and cleaning up your nutrition. If it tastes good, spit it out. And if man made it, don't eat it. God, these are so basic but so good. Jack LaLanne, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the last one I'll give you when it comes to the Jack LaLanne favorite quotes is this. Everything you do in life, I don't care, good or bad, don't blame God, don't blame the devil, don't blame me, and don't blame you. You control everything. Now it says, don't blame me, blame you, blame yourself. You control everything. The thoughts you think, the thoughts you utter, the food you eat, the exercise you do, every single thing you do is controlled by you. My friends, those are some great quotes when it comes to nutrition. Clean it up. As Jacqueline said, make sure your nutrition is right. And a special shout out, if you want to learn more about Jacqueline, he just came out with his book, March 22nd. So last month, he just came out with his book a few weeks ago, Pride and Discipline, The Legacy of Jacqueline. Pick it up. Pride and Discipline, The Legacy of Jacqueline. Number 5 of 6 to get your mind right when your mind ain't right. Get your spirit right. Get your spirit right. Well, how do you get your spirit right, your soul right? There's several ways. You could pray, meditate, go to church, get back to going to church. You got to build your faith muscle. Got to build your faith muscle. As a matter of fact, what I want to do right now is share a little devotional with you today, which is going to help build your faith muscle. Today's devotional is this: I will lift you high. Though a flood overtakes you, I will lift you high. Though fire burn all around you, I will be your shelter. Though many voices may accuse you, I will be your peace. Haven't I saved you 1,000 times before? You see only one, but I see many times I have rescued you, sheltered you, covered you, and protected you from your folly. I see the times where I have protected you when you weren't even aware that you were in danger. I am your Father who stands watch over you at all times. My eyes rest upon you, not just observing you, but protecting you, keeping you in my care. I provide untold favors, guarding you from the temptation that is too great for you, all because I love you. There is no need for worry or anxiety because my hand is upon you and my presence leads you. I ask you to have a deeper confidence that goes beyond the moment and endures for a lifetime. Fear not, for when I consider you, my heart is stirred to act on your behalf. Psalms 46:10, surrender your anxiety, be silent, and stop your striving, and you will see that I am God. I am the God above all the nations, and I will be exalted throughout the whole earth. My friends, in today's devotional that you just heard, we think about getting your spirit right. I have a question for you. When it comes to getting your spirit right, who are you pouring into? Who is pouring into you? Who should you be pouring into, and who should be pouring into you? Because when you think about those questions of who are you pouring into, who's pouring into you, who should you be pouring into, and who should be pouring into you, the bottom line is this: who is speaking life into you, and who are you speaking life into? Because the last I checked, we all need more life. And today's episode, I hope, especially here in number 5, get your spirit right, get your soul right. I hope that I'm speaking life into you today to get your body, your mind, and your soul right. It could be a pastor. It could be a rabbi. It could be a counselor. It could be a coach. It could be a mentor. It could be a friend. It could be yours truly. But take the life that you feel today, right now, and pour it into someone else as well. And number 6, of how you get your mind right when your mind's not right, is to do meaningful work. To do meaningful work. Does your work that you do provide meaning to you? When you are doing your most meaningful work, what does it feel like? What are you doing? Let me ask you this question. Does the work that you do matter? Truly, does it matter? I ask myself that question all the time. How am I spending my time, and who am I spending my time with? Does this podcast episode matter? I hope that it does for you. That's why I'm doing it. The podcast, for me, it's training my clients or athletes and spending time at Fitness Quest 10 and investing in our community. When I'm coaching and investing time in the mastermind or our God-Sized Dreams coaching program. When I lead a retreat or a live event, or if I'm doing a keynote to motivate a few hundred people, it matters. If I'm writing a book or my new impact journal, I believe it matters. So let me ask you the question, when are you doing your most meaningful work that matters? Be sure today that the work you do matters. Let me ask you this question here. When aren't you doing meaningful work? When aren't you doing work that matters? I know for me, when I'm doing emails, I don't feel like that work really matters. Sometimes when I'm doing social media, I'm like, I could probably be using my time differently to matter even more. Now, I take great pride in my social media. I love social media because I say every post I do, I want to make sure that it could change someone's life. But I want you to think about the work that you do, everything that you do. Does it matter? Does it make a difference? Now, what if you have a job or even a career that doesn't seem very meaningful? Is anyone in that position? Because I know when you reach out to me, because I read all of the texts that come in via my community or the DMs that come in on social media, sometimes you feel stuck. And the purpose today in this episode isn't to say, if you're not feeling like you do work that matters, hey, go quit your job. I'm not saying that. I believe sometimes within every job and any career that you can find meaningful work that does make a difference. That sometimes requires change, and that is sometimes uncomfortable. And if you're in work that maybe doesn't completely fill you up, then there's other things that you can do to find meaningful work while you have that job that's serving you in some way. Maybe you go out and you get involved with a philanthropic association or an event or a philanthropic effort. Perhaps you get into volunteering your time on a weekend for a half a day, 3 to 6 hours or all weekend, or at least find places to connect with people who matter the most. For me at Fitness Quest 10, the sanctuary for 22 plus years, it has served as that, a place where people could connect, the cheers of the neighborhood, of the community where people could connect. Where do you connect? Maybe the church, maybe the temple, where you connect with other like-minded souls and individuals where you can do meaningful work. If you're serving at your church, well, now you feel more meaning. Fantastic. Make sure you do that. Why? Because when your mind ain't right, then you find that way to serve through a philanthropic effort, and now you feel you're doing work that matters. The bottom line is this. If your mind ain't right, then you got to battle like hell to get your mind right. And I believe those 6 ways that I just shared, those 6 ways will help you change the way you think. All of those things to get your schedule right and spend time doing work that matters. Having great conversations with people who matter in your life. Maybe you have to get rid of toxic people or toxic relationships at work or in your life because they're robbing you of the mindset. Then that's up to you to change your self-talk, to change your relationships, whatever it takes. And don't forget to bookend your day, your morning and your evening with winning routines, because at the end of the day, the morning routine revs your engine, and in the evening, that's going to prep you for proper sleep and recovery. So the power of writing, number 1, get that writing in. It'll transform your mind to get your mind right when your mind ain't right. Number 2 is to get into your heart. Get into your heart, because when your mind ain't right and you get into your heart is going to serve other people and help you get you to where you want to go. Third, I talked about getting out in nature, and it is very, very therapeutic for the soul. 4, get your body right. When you train hard and you eat right, it gets your body right, which gets your mind right. Because guess what? Yeah, because your body is your slave and you tell it what to do, and your mind controls that. Get your body right, number 4. And number 5 was get your spirit right. Whatever it takes in today's devotional about I will lift you high, get your spirit right. And the last one is go out and do meaningful work. Work that matters. Why? Because you matter. My friend, thank you for joining me today so much here on the Todd Durkin Impact Show. I hope that I served you today. Do me a favor, if you're not yet a part of my text community, make sure you're part of my text community. Simply text me 619-304-2216. That will be me who responds, 619-304-2216. That is my community where I text you back and forth and drop exclusive content through that. And don't forget, if you have not yet given us a 5-star rating for this Todd Durkin Impact Show, hop over to iTunes. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating, write a review, and continue to share. Until next time, even if your mind ain't right, go out and get your mind right. and keep training hard, eating right, and living inspired. Peace, and God bless you.